Good morning and welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your daily shot of sharp business intel, global trends, and market movers. It's Wednesday, May 21st. I'm Nelson John. Today's episode has it all: big deals, bold defense, and billion-dollar strategies. India is refilling its reserves, Blackstone is shopping big, and NHPC's profits are soaring. Add Trump's space-age missile defense and a game-changing India-EU trade pact. This is one power-packed business brief. Let's get started. With Brent crude hovering near a 4-year low, India is moving swiftly to refill its strategic petroleum reserves, SPR, and strengthen energy security. This is the right time, a government official told Mint, noting the $65 per barrel pricing offers major savings. India currently holds just 3.6 million tons of crude in its SPR, well below the 5.3 million tons capacity. That's only 9.5 days of coverage in a nation that imports 85% of its oil. The global benchmark, 90 days. The urgency follows heightened geopolitical tensions, especially after Operation Sindoor, India's military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. Officials see a need to buffer against future shocks. The government had earlier deferred a 5,000 crore rupee allocation in FY24, but now plans to redirect it to FY26. Two more storage sites, Chandikhol and Padur, are in the pipeline, though land allotments are still pending. India last dipped into its reserves in 2021, but filled them at rock-bottom prices of $19 per barrel in 2020, saving nearly 700 crore rupees. With JP Morgan projecting Brent could dip to $58 in 2026, India is betting on timing and budget resets to fill the gap and finally meet IEA standards. NHPC lit up its Q4 numbers, clocking in a 52% jump in consolidated net profit to 919.63 crore rupees, fueled by higher income and robust operational gains. Revenue soared to 2,672 crore rupees, while income from operations more than doubled, growing 114% year-on-year. The board sweetened the deal for shareholders with a final dividend of 0.51 rupees per share. On top of that, 1.4 rupees interim dividend paid in March. That brings the total FY25 payout to 1.91 rupees per share, pending shareholders' approval. Backed by the Ministry of Power, NHPC is India's largest hydropower developer, and it's not just stopping there. April saw the commissioning of the massive 800 megawatt Parbati 2 hydro project and 107 megawatt from the Karnisar solar plant, expanding its clean energy portfolio. However, a High Court order led NHPC to account for 589 crore rupees in arrears to employees and ex-staff, denting its full-year profit before tax, which stood at 102.7 crore rupees. 301.97 crore rupees of that expense has been recognized as unbilled revenue. With diversified investments across hydro, solar and wind, NHPC is positioning itself as a formidable player in India's energy transition. In a fierce bidding war, Blackstone has secured the acquisition of AGS Health, outpacing Vitruvian Partners and a TPG General Atlantic consortium, sources told Mint. The deal pegs AGS Health's valuation between $1.2 to $1.3 billion, nearly quadrupling its 2019 price tag when EQT bought it for $320 million. Blackstone hiked its bid on Monday and emerged as the highest bidder, said one source close to the deal. AGS Health, a revenue cycle management RCM firm, serves over 150 healthcare clients, including nearly half of the top 20 U.S. hospitals. With offices in Chennai, Manila, and Washington, the company employs nearly 13,000 people and clocks over 500 crore rupees in EBITDA. JP Morgan and BOFA were appointed to manage the sale, which reflects a broader surge in interest for RCM firms as global PE giants chase high-margin, dollar-generating healthcare assets. The past 18 months have already seen firms like GBBS, Omega, and Access Healthcare change hands. The acquisition underscores Blackstone's bullishness on scalable, compliance-driven health tech platforms in the US. Donald Trump just pulled a page from Reagan's Cold War playbook and turned up the volume. Unveiling the ambitious Golden Dome missile defense initiative, Trump announced a $175 billion plan to build a space-age shield capable of intercepting missiles at every stage of flight, even from space. This will complete the job Reagan started 40 years ago, Trump declared from the Oval Office, referencing the former president's Star Wars missile defense vision. By 2029, Trump says the Golden Dome will be fully operational. Modeled as a multi-layered system, the Golden Dome will combine ground-based interceptors with a new fleet of space-based defenses. It aims to catch threats during pre-launch, liftoff, mid-course, and final approach. This is about as close to perfect as you can have, Trump said, flanked by a poster showing the U.S. painted gold and artistically defending itself from missiles. Congress is starting with the $25 billion ask, but General Michael Guetlein tapped to lead the effort. But experts warn much of this tech is still unproven. Still, if built, it could redefine modern defenses, turning sci-fi into high-orbit security. An official Indian delegation is headed to Brussels this week, aiming to push forward the long-awaited free trade agreement FTA with the European Union. The visit follows 11 rounds of negotiations held in Delhi on May 16th as both sides try to wrap up the deal by year-end. Talks had resumed in 2022 after an 8-year freeze, and officials now plan to conclude the agreement in 2 phases, mirroring India's strategy with Australia and the US, amid global trade volatility, especially rising tariffs under US President Donald Trump. The EU is demanding steep duty cuts on automobiles, medical devices, wines, spirits, and meat products, while also pushing for stronger IP protection. For India, a successful deal could boost exports in textiles, pharma, steel, and machinery, giving domestic goods a competitive edge in Europe. India-EU trade stood at $137 billion in FY24, with the EU as India's largest goods trading partner. Services trade added another $51 billion. The deal spans 23 negotiation chapters, from goods and services to sustainable development and geographical indications. With the political commitment from PM Modi and the European Commission chief, the finish line is in sight. That's all for today. Thank you for joining in. We're eagerly looking forward to our next Top of the Morning episode, which will be packed with the latest in business news. Until then, this is Nelson John signing off. Have a great day.